All right. So we're going to continue to move forward in our story playthrough. We are now ready to undertake the last bit here. What lies within, and then the interlude. Last little bit of End of Dragons before we finally are ready for Secrets of the Obscure here in a couple days. So there's this giant demon, and it's preventing us from accessing these valuable energy charged jade deposits and ley lines, which charge them, and so on and so forth, which would help resolve Cantha's energy crisis. Plus, the demon is really messing people up, and that's bad too. But also, let's get to the point. Really, it's bad because, energy crisis. That's more important than people. If geopolitics have taught me one thing, it's that people aren't really that important in the grand scheme of things. Let's see what this letter is all about. Gork says to us, hope this letter finds you in moderately higher spirits. Moderately, Gork. Moderately. Taimi, Yao, and I have all been hard at work searching for an answer to our demon problem. We think we have found a valuable solution. A word of caution, our strategy will involve an exhaustive exploration of your mind's response to intense emotional stimuli. It will be taxing. If anyone has my full confidence, it's you, Commander. When you're ready, come by the power plant in New Kainang City to discuss our plan of attack. Gorik. Why the power plant in New Kainang? That's a weird... I don't remember why that is. Presumably, we will find out here in a few minutes. I genuinely don't remember what the story is with that. Oh, look, it's like red, yellow. I never noticed before that's like a stoplight. That's stupid. All right. Do trains even have yellow lights? Like, is that a thing between red and green for a train? Yellow? I'm gonna assume no. All right. I don't actually know though. Let's skip ahead here.
I am joined again today by Ambassador Mead, who will be speaking on behalf of Christian. I can
You know,
see all of Tyrion weeps with you today, and we stand with you. You have
where was
your
that?
mind, and another will ignite in its place. Until then,
Huh.
Cantha is not
I didn't
alone.
remember that. I didn't
You
remember one of the
and you
instabilities being
are
there.
Arenanet.
Alrighty.
Thank you, my
Let's get
lord.
going here.
And thank you, Queen Jenna.
So with this upcoming stuff, I appreciate what they were trying to do to some degree. The problem is all the things that I talked about with Gayala Delve earlier are a problem with this. So there's like there's an upshot to it, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But unfortunately, there's also a downside to it, which is that we don't need more of the same, and we get more of the same. All right, into the power plant we go. Take the elevator up to the lab. Don't mind if I do. The elevator's not there. And I am in the water. Because I'm a genius. Did you know if you get wet before going on an elevator, it actually increases the speed of the elevator? Yeah. Yeah, because you're wet. Less drag. Seriously, science. Don't question me on it. Alright, losers.
Hi! You look refreshed and so lucid.
It's because I fell in the water.
You've been busy. Certainly looks that way.
And for good reason. Finn, please show the commander our latest masterpiece. Just like we practiced. Introducing the Recollector.
Ta-da. I'm so excited.
I'm not sure I follow.
That demon took a liking to you. After further analysis, it's clear why. It preys on unresolved stress, vulnerability.
Not that anyone is doubting your strength, but you've been known to carry the weight of the world. And that's tough for anyone, even if they are you.
Luckily, we can use that to our advantage. If you gather your emotions with the Recollector, we can use them as a lure.
Right. When our demon senses potent emotions, it'll try to latch on. Once enticed, we can lure it from the ley line. Like tasty emotional breadcrumbs.
So your plan is to turn me into bait. How do I collect these emotional breadcrumbs?
you'll have to do some exploration, physically and emotionally. Places important to you should give strong responses. I know it's a lot, but we'll be there to help. And it'll be great prep for protecting your mind against further attacks.
You'll have to forgive my lack of enthusiasm for all this. But I'll do what needs to be done.
All right. So this is where like the touchy-feely part really started to turn people off. Already people weren't loving the like all these interpersonal dynamics, and now essentially like our plan for addressing the demon is to get in touch with our feelings. That was pretty off-putting for some people. I don't know necessarily that it was for me. I was not necessarily put off by it. I don't know that you're going to hear me like endorse it as like the best storytelling that Guild Wars 2 has ever engaged in, but I was not nearly as put off by it as some people. The problem is, for me, we've done this so many times. The commanders had to get in touch with their feelings numerous times before. Instead of simply writing a character with realistic human reactions in the first place, they just occasionally bring the commander back to center by putting us through this process. That's the part that doesn't really feel good. It's not that I have a problem with us like going certain places. For example, head to the Yang reactor station in New Kaineng City to explore emotions related to my Trin.
Going to give your mother an aneurysm if you keep joking about moving to Echovald.
Papa, I'm not joking. I'm taking the
Oh,
job.
Yoon Young.
Imagine the
You're
reason.
such a rebel. Yeah, I don't know that. Oh yeah, there's the Yang reactor. I don't know that it's like a terrible thing. I think it just, for some people, it just didn't feel that good because some people were always gonna be like, hey man, like why are we doing this emotional stuff? Like, I want to kill more enemies. But then also, I think some folks, it just feels like we just keep doing this, and it's like the commander must not be learning from their emotional experiences because they keep going through these emotional experiences and then having to deal with it over again. I guess that's where I'm trying to go with this. All right, yeah. This is another interesting thing they do. Each time we come to grips with our feelings about a certain person, in this case my Trin, there will be someone there who's like tangentially related to all that. So in this case, Yao, right? Because remember, Yao and my Trin like didn't get along at all because there was like this weird jealousy dynamic that was like really fed into this impression that Yao is like incredibly insecure. So now we have Yao here to like walk us through the process of coming to grips with my Trin. Like we're the ones who hadn't come to grips with my Trin.
Hey, Commander. So, Kaineng, huh? At least it's convenient.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to pry. I just... Hey, at any point, if you get worked up, I'm here. Dealing with this stuff is hard. Most people won't even try. For what it's worth, I think it's pretty damn brave to do this. And yeah, I'll be here. That's all.
Thank you, Yao. Suppose I should get started.
Oh man, that's what we need. More friends like Yao, am I right? Alright. So now we come to grips with my Trin. This memorial honors my Trin, erected in the aftermath of the reactor station explosion. It stands here in commemoration of her sacrifice, right? So, I mean, it's worth noting, like, you know, my Trin did get a full-blown redemption arc, and it ended well. I feel like my Trin, you know, we lose her on a really positive note, and I think but she was also a likable character. Even as a villain, I felt my Trin was quite likable. So I don't know that I don't know that the player like needs this kind of reconciliation, but we didn't get a proper goodbye for my Trin. End of Dragons did not give that to us, so now we get that. No life is purely good or evil. Ultimately, we're the sum of our choices. This dialogue here, there's a lot to think about. I need a moment. Or this is like the epiphany that the commander's having. The commander learns something. Huh. No life is purely good or evil. Ultimately, we're the sum of our choices. Good job, Commander. Your introspection is profound. Alright. So let's find a way to pay respect for my Trin. And this is going to happen at each one of the places we go also. We're going to somehow you know, honor the individual, or we're gonna have some sort of task tied to this process, right? In this case, let's bring some flowers over here to the memorial.
Yeah, you said that. I can't change who I was, but I won't give up on who I want to be.
And who, pray tell, is that?
I don't know. Someone better.
All right, so our little moment of remembering the best of my trend, right? We remember someone who wanted to get better. What do you think about that? Yeah.
Hey, how are you feeling?
My Trin was selfish. Killed innocent people without a second thought. And I owe my life to her.
I didn't know her well. Our first real introduction was terrible. But I did get the impression she felt lost. Finding your place can be tough. She probably thought the Aether Blades were where she belonged. But then she hit a point where she realized what she was doing didn't align with the person she wanted to be. And she started thinking less about being accepted by pirates and more about being acceptable to herself.
Doesn't excuse her actions. Not one bit.
Gods, no. She murdered people. Maybe just acknowledge that she tried to do something right at the end. Not everybody does.
Fair. Okay, interestingly, when it comes to the My Trin story, and something that Yao said here, finding your place can be pretty tough. She probably thought the Aether Blades were where she belonged. When I did my story playthrough and we were in the Yang reactor, I missed a trick. There was a little hidden room that has 3 audio dialogue, and there's an achievement associated with it. Somewhere. End of Dragons, no. Story Journal, End of Dragons, what is that, probably Act 4? Gain access to June's files. This one right here. There should be like 3, it doesn't show anywhere, but I think there's actually 3 audio files that you listen to. And they provide you insight, not on June, but on My Trin. And there's one point where My Trin says to June, like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep up with all this stuff and balance all these things in your life. And June says something along the lines of, well, I don't know how not to. This is just who I am. And then June says, you know, why do you choose to, you know, do the Aether Blade thing and all this? And My Trin says, well, I don't know. Maybe that's just who I am. So, you know, that ties in directly with what Yao said here. Unfortunately, I boloed that when we went through that portion of the story playthrough, and I didn't get that. Kind of a shame. All right, yeah. So we go and we need to collect 2 more potent emotions, but we get to choose where we go next. Blish, Cinder. We may not even remember who Cinder was. Cinder was the compatriot, the second in command to Ryland, who was killed by Smodor right in front of Ryland, and that led to, you know, the end of any possibility of a truce and an increase in violence during the whole Drizzlewood thing. Feelings about Arene? I mean, is this necessary? Like, we yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of time with Arene, and we're going to get more time with Arene later. So I can tell you 100% we're not going to do this one. And then Vlast, right? So we're going to go with Blish and Vlast. Now, this is unfortunate in that the ones you don't choose, you don't get to see unless you do another playthrough. They do not give you, like, optional. Hunt down the other 2 memories. Like, that is not a thing, and I do not know why. I cannot fathom why. It's kind of mind-blowing how they missed that this time when normally they're very good about that. But we're not going to get that opportunity. At least as far as I remember. If I turn out to be wrong, that'll be awesome. We'll do all 5. But I don't believe we get that chance. So we're going to do 2 of these. Blish. I really like Blish, and we did not really get that opportunity to say goodbye. And also, Blish has been made relevant again by Gorik's hallucination, right? So Blish is definitely going to be one. We're also going to do Vlast, and that's just because Vlast was, I think, more directly relevant to the story than Cinder. I think Cinder would also be interesting. I don't think the Arene thing is interesting at all, because, again, we get so much Arene that we're just, like, way tired of Arene, or at least I certainly am. But both Cinder and Blast, or Cinder and Vlast got a bum deal. Like they both did not get the opportunity to be what they should have been, and the story doesn't acknowledge that in either case. And I think with Vlast that was particularly profound because really everything that Arene is, Vlast was supposed to be. And the story does nothing to address that at all. So, there you go. Blish and Vlast. Let's start with Vlast. Why not? All right, head to Salt Flats in Desert Highlands. Well, that's going to be a real expensive waypoint, but I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Brutal. 10 silver. You know what? Absolutely not. I am not paying 10 silver. That's horrible. The waypoint fees between Cantha and the rest of the game are, like, silly. Just positively silly. Alright, Lion's R should be more palatable. It still might be 4 or 5 silver, but at least won't be 10 silver. Yeah, look at that. 325. All right, so one of the downsides of doing last year, by the way, is that if people are doing bounties, there's a bounty that takes place right here where you need to be to do the Vlast thing. So that is potentially problematic. Particularly if like they fail the bounty and then like the bounty is just sitting here like doing its thing right in the middle of this like blast area. And remember, this is exactly where we want to be to discuss Vlast, because this is where Vlast was killed. This is the mark from when he exploded after being killed by Balthazar. And of course we were almost killed here ourselves. And Timey is going to be our person who helps us go on this emotional, spiritual journey. Timey, you want to talk about this?
Commander, hey, Arenanet free up here?
Right?
I'm not good at this, but I wanted to be here with you and, pay my respects.
I barely knew him. Then he was gone.
He did a lot of good in the time he had. That's for sure.
I like how nobody actually says like, this is my thing. I am emotionally intelligent and I'm here to like actually be a strong support. Everyone's like, this isn't really my thing. Don't know what to say to you, but I want to be here for you if I can. Well, thanks. Like, you're all like emotionally cold and distant. Great to know that I have such good friends. All right, so we need to explore the area for mementos related to Vlast. I don't actually remember how to even identify them, but we'll run around and see if we can see them. At least we got a sky scale, so we can kind of stay above all the... Oh, look at that. There's something down there. So we can see them from quite a ways away, it looks like. I don't really remember anything about this, so it's fun. It's like it's new. A dragon scale lies mostly buried in the sand from years of desert winds, slowly shifting the landscape. The desert may change, but your impact on this world will not, Vlast. Oh, that's it. Okay. Yep, got something over here. What is this? Twisted shards of metal, pockmarked from a harsh sandstorm, lie among the scorch marks. I'd never forget forged metal, nor could I forget your heroism, right? Alright, because Vlast was fighting the forged, right? If that's like, if you hadn't played Path of Fire, that would feel like super weird. You'd be like, what in the world is being discussed here? But that's the whole thing there, is Vlast, however you say his name, Battle with the Forged. I think it's Vlast. Like, they say his name in audio files. I just don't remember. I think it's Vlast. How can I not remember that? Like, as someone who's played so much of this game, that's not something I should be forgetting. What do we got here? A small yellow crystal shard is embedded in the sand, easily hidden by the similarly colored grasses growing around it. Items may be lost to time, but I'll make sure your sacrifice is remembered. It's almost like poetry, isn't it? Really bad poetry, like high school sophomore poetry. All right. Scorched ground.
I feel trapped in this war, this legacy. I yearn for freedom, but I cannot turn away from these responsibilities. To do so would doom the mortal races to certain destruction, and perhaps myself as well. But then again, there is a kind of freedom in death, is there not?
I don't know. I hope you found that freedom, buddy. So interestingly, like, Vlast did not really feel affinity with humans. So his dedication to preserving humans was a sense of responsibility, not a sense of emotional attachment to humans. Emotionally, I don't think he really could have cared less, but he was deeply emotionally attached to his responsibility to protect them because that was handed to him by his mother, right?
You okay?
I didn't know him long, but he sacrificed his life to save mine. To save Oreen's.
Vlast was expected to give himself for the world, no questions asked. He knew from the start exactly how his life had to be. He'd either live to fulfill Glenn's legacy or die to save it in the process. Either way, he knew how it would end.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Well, if anyone knew Vlast, it was Oreen. Maybe he figured if his legacy was already set, he'd only go along with it knowing she'd be okay. And by saving you, he knew he'd be saving her. So he did fulfill his legacy, Glenn's legacy, but on his own terms. There is a kind of freedom in that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Timmy, we're gonna go deal with our whole Blish complex. College of Synergetics in Rodasum. Cool, man. I love going to Rodasum. Man, we go to Rodasum a lot in the story, don't we? Season 3, Icebrood Saga, lots of time in Rodasum. College of Synergetic. I think we go down, don't we? Oh, and then we double back. Wait, what? It's very confusing. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Alright. Let's go down more. I think that's what it's trying to tell us to do. Yeah, there we go. Of course. Now, Gorik is the right person, right? I can't imagine. If they put anyone else here, I think they would be doing this wrong.
Just reading through some of Blish's old papers. His professors always kept copies of his work as examples for future students.
Wow. He must have been at the top of his classes.
Academic competition was fierce, especially in cybernetic systems too. The results of that course are highly contested. Whatever you do, don't bring it up to Tiny. It's a lingering sore spot for her.
Noted. Mind if I have a look?
Not at all. Blish would have been thrilled people still read his work. I'd recommend his consciousness transferals papers. Though his newest work was some of his most riveting. He was prepping it for publication, but he ran out of time.
Alright. Let's see what we got here. Study abstract, synergetics database. Sure, why not? Oh, we get to sit and everything? No, I just accidentally set when I meant to do this.
Tell him his big brother is sorry. And time
Alright. Very little here in the transcript that we actually care about. Made up thing, made up thing, made up thing. Skim through a lengthy list of advanced coursework that Blish completed during his time at the college. It's as impressive as it is intimidating. Alright, let's look at the study abstract over here.
Come back for me when the storm passes. We've come too far to give in now.
Okay. Consciousness has been loosely defined as capacity for awareness in relation to internal and external stimuli. Question of transference across synthetic bodies. Okay. Oh, and this is by Blish, right? So I guess, you know, obviously he was motivated looking at that exact research himself, right? And why wouldn't he be? Yeah, direct impact on his life. It's like a buddy of mine who was interested in studying prosthetics after he lost his leg in Afghanistan. Similar type thing. Another dissertation.
Seeing her again. I'm supposed to be dead. Science gave me a second chance. I will make it count.
Ah, that's a good attitude.
I couldn't see, hear, speak, move. No sense of space or time. Only nothingness. I would prefer not to experience that again.
And yet he did. In fact, he chose to experience that to help everyone else to success. So I think Blish is like a underappreciated character. I don't think this is an adequate way of kind of helping us. Remember, not that he did a terrible job with this, but it just doesn't seem an adequate way to really remember characters if we really, really cared about them, right? Like a couple of ghostly apparitions. I don't know if that's enough or not. Gorik, what are your thoughts?
Gorik, I shouldn't have dragged you here.
Commander, I knew from the moment you told me what this was going to be about. I wanted to be here with you.
When I was with him, I had no idea he was planning... I'm sorry.
Would have been so proud of what we accomplished, and that you still remember him.
Gorik.
It took me a while to accept that his sacrifice was necessary, and it was his choice. We have to honor that. It's okay.
I think I'm ready now. Should probably get back to the mine.
So it was Gorik's choice, and in fact, he deceived us in order to make it happen, right? And that's one of the parts of the story that I actually really like. When the story plays out, I really like that touch. And
What in the alchemy was that about?
yeah, for you know, while I don't think that the season 4 story is great, like I think the Blish thing is really good. Okay, where's my? There it is. I found my Arborstone portal. I had to put it in the bank for some godforsaken reason. And good thing I found it too, because paying waypoint fees is absurd. I mean, it's a necessary gold sink, but the amount between Cantha and the rest of the map is silly. And really weird that Arenanet's like A-okay with that. And that's why the Arborstone portal is a thing, and I appreciate that they put it in. And while it kind of feels weird that you get one per character, like that way of implementing it kind of feels weird, but also I appreciate that it's an account-bound scroll, not a character-bound scroll, so you can drop it in here, all your characters can use it. And then when each of them also have one, if you run multiple characters through the story, then you have extra copies or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing, but it's not... Like, at first I was, like, hypercritical of it, and then I realized it's not the worst implementation that it could have been. What is this? Region lore. Do I care about region? Oh, it's Ari. Ari? You're not dead. Ari, what's up? No, we asked her all those questions already. We're not messing around with that anymore. All right, Timey. I've dealt with my emotions. I'm a more mature person now.
You're back. Thank the alchemy. You're okay. You still have the recollector, right? It didn't explode or...
I'm fine. The Recollector's fine. Though I should probably test out its other functions.
Oh, yeah, right, of course. But don't think you're walking into that gunk unprotected. Say hello to an old friend. An old friend who can withstand the elements.
You're letting me borrow Scruffy? Won't that be a bit tight?
It's the least I could do. Why don't you take him out for a spin?
I completely forgotten that's the thing. Alright. Well, let's get into Scruffy and go do things.
How's the fit?
My nose is pressed against the glass.
Perfect! Let's get some practice in. What's the situation? Any potential test subjects lurking around?
There's a bunch near some jade pools.
Beautiful. Obliterate them! Or, test out the non-lethal features. They're important too, but so much less fun.
Alright, so most of this I'm good with. I just think it's really silly that, like, the weapons are waft emotions, launch emotions, blast emotions. We can use our emotional reconciliation of past events and stuff without literally shooting emotions at monsters, right? Like, that is really weird. And really, I think, unnecessary. I don't know. I don't, like, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. At all. But, whatever. God, this thing also does, like, what am I missing here? In terms of this doing damage, because it feels like it doesn't do any at all. Tommy, I'm getting killed. Oh, it kills me straight up. What am I not doing right? Super weird. I don't remember how to do any of this, and I'm not having fun with it. Alright, that is a huge amount of damage, but it's 14-second cooldown. During which time I'm like taking abuse here. Getting thrown around. That fears. I have no use for something that fears.
Enjoying yourself?
Not even a little bit, Timey.
It's cathartic.
That's the idea. Sounds like everything's working as it should.
Yes,
No.
but the effects seem to be wearing off pretty fast. I'm concerned it won't buy us much time.
What? Oh, those greedy emotion grubbers. And these are just the wimpy ones. Oh, bring it back. Everyone's here now, so we can troubleshoot.
Yeah, don't mind if I do. Ugh. Gross. I think I died right before. Oh, okay, I'm not dead. Timey. Scruffy's awful.
I don't believe this. At this point, we don't have the resources to compete with their appetites.
Yeah, by the time we lure the big guy to the surface, all those little ones will be tailing us. Especially when they get away from the commander. No offense.
What if we block the path as we go? Could Finn knock out some more walls? Bury them in debris?
Only where there's structural weakness. Those walls are solid. Even if we had something with more pizzazz, I'm not sure how safe it'd be.
Before you go blowing up the place, take a look through my storage crates. I brought a few extra supplies with me from headquarters. Sure, there's something useful in there.
Oh, well, thanks, Cholmu. That's nice of you to give us stuff. Okay, all these are quote-unquote legitimately acquired goods, right? Which
Scruffy needs a new set of shells.
definitely tells us none of it is legitimately acquired, right?
Ooh, stylish. Though the print might be a bit loud for you, Chelmu.
And that cut leaves nothing to the imagination.
Shut up.
Well. As much as I like the idea of seeing Sholmu in a dress, we'll keep moving.
What is that? Why is it in my storage?
Oh, you don't need that.
Now that is actually funny. The dress thing isn't that funny. A dead Skrit is very funny. But it does raise the question, right? Because the Skrit are like one of the sentient races. So, did Sholmu murder the Skrit? Like, what happened here? This is hugely problematic. He's a Skrit murderer. Oh. Yeah, like it was bad enough when I was doing business with someone who's like kind of bad, but this guy just straight kills like self-aware mice.
Hey, you know, if you're not using this, I've got the perfect spot in...
No.
But it's just sitting there collecting dust. I might as well...
No.
No. Do-gooder.
Do-gooder. So we are looking for something very specific, and I genuinely don't remember if it's in a certain spot or if we just have to look at everything before we actually find it. Don't remember. They could have done with a few less boxes, but we'll see. We'll get there.
Care to explain why the Brotherhood has an ancient Kurzik rune in its possession?
It was acquired from the speakers. Apparently, Tetra found it useful. And it's in our best interest to keep useful things away from Tetra.
Of course. Of course. I mean, why return it to its rightful owners when we can shove it in a damn crate?
Get off your soapbox. You may borrow it.
Park Cholmu, a true philanthropist.
Considering that it's now Brotherhood property, I believe I'm being quite generous.
And I believe that you believe that.
Great. Alright, why are you so worked up, Raman? That wasn't fun for anyone except the two of you.
Well, we have a seal. That's a start.
Is anyone here versed in ancient Kurzik ritual magic? Anyone?
Think I know someone who can help. She practically lives at the library in Arborstone. Really loses her mind over this sort of stuff. If we head to Echo Vault now, we can probably catch her.
Alright, well, let's go to Arborstone, I guess. Yep, Valeria. Alright. You know, maybe this is just another potential date for Rama, right?
Look who it is. I was starting to think you forgot about me.
Sorry I've been such a stranger. Promise I'll drop by more. I have a lot more time these days. Well, except today. Long story short, do you know anything about ward spells? Say, I don't know, performing a sealing ritual?
New hobby to impress the ancestors? Okay, let me think. You said sealing rituals? I don't have the incantations memorized by heart or anything, but during my youth, I may have spent an embarrassing amount of time sulking around the library's occult section.
I can see it.
If I were you, I'd start with the Kestrel Archives. They have a whole collection on ritual magic. Bet there's something useful.
Alright. Kestrel Archives, which are, by the way, like upstairs. Nope, further upstairs than that.
I don't like this. Not one bit.
Been a while since I checked anything out of the library. No, Valeria, I can never get the end of it. Guess retirement's as good a time as any to do some reading. But one book at a time. Let's see what they got.
Yes, let's. Alright, got some sort of Canthan history there. Raising your wallow the right way, that's probably not what we're looking for. Down on her luck, Tengu, who opens the very first archery-themed tavern. That sounds like a terrible idea. I don't care. Carnivorous carpentry? I only have eyes for Moo. By Snargle Goldtooth, of course. So that's like a running joke for like the last few releases in Guild Wars 2. This thing where like Snargle Goldtooth writes like bizarre romance books about like people or something. There's an achievement where you go find all his books too. Have I done that? I don't remember if I've done that or not. It's like one of those things that I know exists, but I don't know if I've actually put forth the time to complete it. Okay, Reiko. I think she was a purist, right? Garner increasing support. New ministry was needed to right the wrongs of the previous establishment. Ministry of Purity, yeah. So that's how the purist got started, was with Reiko. Sower's Almanac. Is that like the Farmer's Almanac? Obviously, it's supposed to be. Hey, buddy, what's up? I don't have time for,
Ludwig's Anthology
there we go.
of Ward Spells. A beginner's guide to casting, disabling, and basic incantation. Sounds promising.
Think there's anything on sealing incantations?
Probably, but we'll still need some guidance. Time to pester Valeria again.
I concur. Hi, Valeria.
Welcome back, bookworms. Oh, is that Ludwig's Anthology? That's a classic. Try anything out yet?
Well, we have no idea what we're doing.
Don't beat yourself up. This takes years to master.
Time is a luxury we don't have.
You won't become experts overnight, but with a simple spell and a competent teacher, you might pull it off.
How free is the rest of your day looking?
I'm flattered, but this is above my skill level. You'd be better off asking the steward at the Historical Society. She managed to disable wards on some Zuhelzer relics. Not sure if she can cast or not, but she's a great resource.
Okay, so that may be, I don't know for certainty, but that may be a reference to an event, like a dynamic event that takes place right here at Waypoint Zuhelzer, where there are wards around various Zuhelzer relics, and you got to go through and like try and gather the relics, and there's like enemies fighting you, and it's it's an event, like they all are. Again, not sure if that's supposed to be in reference to that or not, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. Alright, Rama, Historical Society Steward.
Hello. What brings you to me today? I am a steward of truth and research for the preservation of Kurzik history.
We're new to casting, sealing wards, but it's, not going great.
How did you come into possession of an ancient sealing ward? They're highly uncommon.
Highly uncommon.
It was, passed down to me by my uncle. A real jerk of an uncle. By marriage, no relation. But I want to learn how to use it, and Valeria said you're the person to talk to.
Oh, she's very kind. Though, I mainly practice in disabling wards. But some basic sealing work shouldn't be a problem.
Cool. Alright, well, we're ready to get started. It really bothers me that all this stuff with the ward, talking to Valeria and talking to the steward here, has Rama, like, turning away from them. That's, like, a weird little quirk that's not likable.
Now, you'll want to speak clearly, with intent. Visualize your desired outcome.
Easy enough. I seal this pass before me. 2 worlds, once whole, divide, and...
Oh no, you messed it up, Rama. This is why we can't have nice things. Because of Rama.
They'll have to hit much harder.
stiff. Say it as if the voices of all your ancestors who mastered this art now speak through you.
I'll try to do that. Okay. Clearly with intent. Whew. Visualize. I seal this pass before me. Two worlds, once whole, divide. Withstand all wandering evils, and guard what lies inside.
Good. Now, you'll need to assist your friend. To bring the ritual to completion, you must arrange each conjured orb in the shape of the rune you're casting.
Okay. Sure, why not? Okay, I'm doing something wrong because I'm not making any progress. Is it in relation to where they are in the room? Oh, there's a button to place the magic, and I was just dropping it, which is funny because isn't that what you do like all the time? You just drop things. That's what we were doing with the jade in Gaiala Delves, but in this case, no, that is not what we do. We actually have a skill for it. Shame on me for not paying attention. I just assumed it was swiftness or something, because that's how they always do it. They just put a swiftness, although usually that's like very obvious because it's like the running foot logo.
That's it! Oh, you did splendidly. And to think, you've only just started out.
It actually worked. We're not a bad team, Commander. Well, I think we're ready to go take this one out for a spin. Thanks for your help.
My pleasure. Blood relatives or not, I'm sure your uncle would be terribly proud of you.
Don't know about that. Though he was actually helpful, for once. In an unintentional sort of way.
Alright. I don't think we're meant to perceive that Cholmu is any relation to Rama. I think he just said uncle to avoid having to explain that it was Cholmu. What are these books? Oh, look at that. It's the second chapter of Snargle Goldtooth's resounding triumph about a romance with Cholmu. I mean, how could we not be excited about that? Okay. Back to Gaiala Delves, and hopefully we are getting close to getting this done. So I mentioned earlier that Gaiala Delves was like split as a map and was rolled out in two parts, like, you know, Silver Waste or Dry Top or something. This is the second half, and we're about ready to do things with it. It also has its own meta event, which is really, really awful, and has like no redeeming qualities whatsoever. So whereas I honestly think on a populated map, the Gaiala Delves meta event is not that bad. If you're on a populated map, if you just ignore the whole filter thing and just get your filters when you need to, and you're with a big group, Gaiala Delve on this side, not that bad. This is just trash. But really, they're putting aside like the reused asset thing and some of the other nonsense that people have said, just like their quality of work in general when it comes to some of this was maybe a little below where they wanted it to be for the chapters between End of Dragons and Secrets of the Obscure. Alright, up we go, apparently. Why are we going up here? I don't remember this part. To regroup with our allies, obviously. Says it right there. Jeez. Alright, guys.
Were you able to get the seal working?
Yeah, I managed to conjure it, but it took a few tries. Plus, I had help.
You prepared as best you could given the situation. Everyone has. How are you doing, Commander?
Ready to put all of this to rest.
You can say that again. If everything's set over here, I'll go alert my crew. We've got siege turtles ready to mobilize by way of an old Luxon mining passage. Help you lure that thing to the surface. We'll head through first, clear things out. Then you come through and seal those exits. You need me? I'll be on comms.
Need some backup? Finn and I.
Stay with your friends. They need you. Oh, and, Detective, when you're done with that seal, it's yours. You're the one who knows how to use it, so do what you will with it. Good luck out there.
Same to you.
Aw, they're buddies now. Isn't that cute or something? Alright, Gorik, any thoughts before we do this thing? Alchemy, it's finally time to set our plan into action. Oh, but what if I missed something? I could have run a few more tests, gathered some more samples, or you ran a science lab out of a tent in a mine. You've done more than enough. Thanks, Commander. With something this critical, it's hard not to feel like you could have done even a little bit more. I know the feeling. Why do I know the feeling? Because as the Commander, I feel an inappropriate amount of guilt for things way later after the fact when apparently I didn't care about them at all during the actual time. Gorik says, but you've already done so much yourself. If it's any help, some of your most difficult work may very well be behind you already. Doubtful, but thank you, Gorik. Do appreciate it. Timey, I see you're back in Scruffy here, which is good, because I don't want anything to do with Scruffy at all. You know, you do seem more centered. Am I sensing some newfound resolve? No, Timey. Maybe a bit. Stepping away to reflect had its uses. It's usually not a bad idea every now and then, for anyone. Doesn't mean everything will be smooth sailing from here, but sometimes even a little good goes a long way for staying motivated. Well, that's a very nice thing for you to say, Timey. You should be like a motivational speaker. Look how big Timey is when she's in this thing. She's like bigger than Yao. Holy smokes, look at the size of that nugget. It's like as big as my entire torso. Sholmu, what's up? Yes, I also exasperated sigh, but it's almost over. About time. Well, no use stalling. Already did enough of that. Yeah, you just keep dealing with it, I guess. Is this nightmare over yet? This being Yao. Lab work felt like a vacation compared to this. Yeah, you've been making a name for yourself here in the thick of things. Yao says, that's high praise from someone who goes by the Commander. Well, I'm not a commander of anything. Like, people just call me that. Like, if people called me Haas, I guess I would be the Haas, right? Guess you bring out the fighter in me, but I should probably get through this before basking in compliments. You probably should, yeah, because I don't have, like, crazy confidence in you as a fighter. I prefer you fix... Like, can I bring Finn? Is bringing Finn an option that's on the table? I assume it's not. We're just going to have to deal with that. Alright. Oh, but I can talk to Finn. Finn! Boop. Do you require encouragement to aid you in facing the formidable, yet plausibly insurmountable task ahead? Sure. Go you. You have got this. No one can quite do this quite like you. You are the real MVP here. MVP, an abbreviation for most valuable person or player. Context dependent. Hoorah. Go get 'em, Tiger. You've come a long way, Finn. Good for you. Thank you for taking note of my deliberate strides toward personal improvement. Positive reinforcement registered. Booby. Yeah, Finn. I mean, in a death battle between Scruffy and Finn, like, who wins? Like, deathmatch robot 2000. I don't know. I mean, we've battled Scruffy, though. Scruffy's rough. Detective Rama. Guess it's time to see all our practice paid off, huh? Yeah, Detective Rama. You already managed once. At this point, you'll just be showing off. Oh, so we're joking around with Rama. He says, appreciate the vote of confidence. Think I got it down. And the seal's mine now anyway, so I might as well get comfortable using it. Yeah, so, I mean, like, because you just never know when you're going to, like, use a seal of, like, warding or something. I don't know, man. I don't know, Rama.
Well, this is it. We practiced, we prepared, and now it's time to take action. Ready?
I am. Yes.
Okay, Commander. You'll want to get fairly close to it. Entice it a little with the recollector.
I don't want to do anything with the recollector.
Here it comes, and it does not look happy. Run!
Oh no.
Visualize with intention. The voices of your ancestors. Let's go.
Just like we practiced, Commander. Distract those pests any way you can. Stun them, smack them, whatever works.
can't I remember? You have some nerve showing your face here. Don't tell me they let you out of prison.
Mama? Not you too. Commander, help me get those demons away from him.
Feel the fury. You sick?
Alright, you know what?
I could outrun a centaur.
Done with the thingy thing. Completely over that. That is not fun, and I have no interest in doing it anymore. Much rather just swing a hammer around. Even if I'm not good at hammer swinging, it's gonna feel a lot better than that thing.
No! The Recollector is draining way too fast!
What? I'm not even using it, Tommy.
Faster than I can stop them.
We're too close to the ley line. We need to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Besides, why would I trust anything you tell me? What? She said that? No, she would never. Would she?
Alright. Grab our little orbs. Drop them in the thing. Poor Rama's dealing with a lot right now. Like, we're not actually, like, dealing with anything. Like, no, like, issues with, like, Blish or anything. But Rama's over here apparently dealing with, like, unresolved issues.
Visualize with intent. Your ancestors. Remember?
Visualize. My ancestors.
I seal this pass.
I seal this pass before me. Two worlds, once whole, divide, withstand all wandering evils, and guard what lies inside. Commander, gods, that was
A nightmare. I know.
thanks. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yes, let's actually do that. So there's not really much point in fighting the whatchamacallit right now?
Hear me all right?
The Oni.
We're making steady progress, but it's a real mess out here.
Just can't believe it. I mean, we used to know that.
I know, kid. Hold tight. You'll be through this before you know it.
They'll have to hit much harder.
Alright, I got Rama with
My
me.
knowledge
That's
grows.
good.
The Recollector's completely drained.
Oh no.
What do we do now?
Think, Gorik, think! The Jade! Try using the Jade. Just trust me.
Try using the Jade. Alright, so we break these Jade stalagmites, huh?
Feel the fury.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Think you're too good for us, Yao? There's the door.
You can't handle that someone else is better than you. And reality check, she is. Maybe now I can accomplish what I want to without you holding me back.
You know how much I've done for you? You ungrateful brat! Get out!
I didn't think I said it to him like that.
Not my
Did I? I do sound like a total brat.
I'll break you down.
Oh, now Yao's dealing with some of his issues. Oh, buddy.
Memory of Yao's? Or is this just another hallucination?
I think it's showing us memories. Perhaps Yao's concern for Chomu is being amplified by the Jade's corruption. We're likely seeing a memory reflective of their mental state. Yao, did it really happen this way?
He's treating like that? How can he stand me?
Yeah? You don't want to go down that path. Trust me.
He's happy I left. He didn't have to deal with me anymore.
Time to do some.
Alright, so poor Yao's dealing with, like, issues or something, I guess. That's unfortunate.
Feel the fury. That did it.
Just like my research said, the Jade's been absorbing the demon's influence, which means
It's absorbing memories.
I'll break you down.
with a scientist with a few good theories.
Alright, so what's being referred to there is the, remember he accidentally killed that one captain, or you know, so the story goes. I don't remember the actual story, and maybe we'll get more of that coming up here soon. But that's who he's, you know, like feeling like he's confronted by right now. Oh no, Scruffy's down. Oh, Scruffy. Oh, buddy, here, let's get so I guess Timey's down. Is Scruffy down or Timey down? Or are the two really indistinguishable from each other when all's said and done? Maybe that's the deal. Maybe they're one and the same, honestly.
You sick?
Alright, Rama, do your thingy thing.
I seal this pass before me. Two worlds, once whole, divide, withstand all wandering evils, and guard what lies inside.
Yo, you there? What did you do to them? If you hurt that kid, I swear, I'll kill you again. And this time I'll mean it. It's me you want. Yao had nothing to do with this. They were just trying to help.
Chilmu?
They were always trying to help. And then they were gone. And now everyone's gone.
I could outrun a centaur. You sick? Just hold on.
Oh man, Shulmu's having a rough time. Alright, Niao's pretty worried about it apparently, so let's keep moving. Man, I got some bleeds. That's serious business right there. Oni doesn't play around. So with the release, this second half of the Guyala Delves thing, this what lies within whatever this is, they also made it to where Oni would randomly pop up in the world of Cantha sometimes while you were doing like other events and stuff, which I think is terrible. I don't think that feels good. I don't think there are very many players. You know, I think the only use it actually has for players is that there's an achievement tied to it. But I don't think there's a whole lot of players who are like, this is amazing, so glad that I'm just doing like random events in Cantha and suddenly I'm getting wrecked by this Oni that takes like 7 or 8 people to kill most of the time. It just feels like just really... What it feels like is when you were doing bounties in Season 4 and then suddenly there was like an ambush related to the bounty. That's what the Oni feel like, and I think that's awful. I can't imagine why they made that mistake. You know, what do I know? I don't know. I think it's real unfortunate. But yeah, the Oni's no joke. Or Ravenous Wanderer, as apparently he's known.
They'll have to hit much. Time to do some real damage. Feel the fury.
It's one thing this will give us. Speed.
He's here. Chilmu,
I like the
are you
places.
alright?
What do you want from me? Just tell me, damn it.
I feel what's going on. And now the crew's in chaos. Let's clear things out and see if that helps.
Alright, let's clear things out. Oh no, the crew is turned against us. Well, of course they do. So why isn't anyone wearing air breathers? Like, seriously. How badly did we prepare for this mission? Awful. Just awful.
Feel the fury.
Alright, what are we at? 5 out of 9 on the out of control crew here. We need to go faster than that.
Real damage.
This ain't fun. because it's really genuinely not fun. I remember distinctly liking almost nothing, aside from like the Blish piece, almost nothing about What Lies Within. Which is why I remember it so poorly, because I blasted through it like in one day and said to myself, never again. But here we go. Alright. Which is sad, because I think the story had a lot of potential, and it could have been like a pretty solid release, and instead it wasn't, because I think more of gameplay issues than actual storytelling issues, which I don't think are like, storytelling is not that bad in my opinion. Alright.
Stay back. What the hell is wrong with you? You're completely unhinged. I didn't know it was her. She attacked me. I didn't know what was going on. I'm sorry, Bina. Jin Lee. Now, Jin. I'm so sorry.
That's Bina? So, this is real.
That's not your fault. You couldn't have known what was wrong. And it was an accident.
Alright. So was it an accident, though? Because definitely, like, that memory we saw... Right, so there's accidents and there's accidents. Right? It's not Sholmu's fault that he was attacked. So 100%. Sholmu is not culpable for Bina's death. Sholmu is responsible for Bina's death. In the memory we just saw, he straight punches her off a cliff, right? Which is pretty cool. But...
Feel the fury.
But he, so I don't know that he had a choice, but, I mean, I also don't think it was an accident. So I'm waiting to see these. So this is more of Sholmu's memories here. Here we are, like, fighting off ruffians. This is related to, like, you know, his memory of sticking up for Yao. See, so there's Yao. In fact, we can talk to Memory Yao? Oh, maybe not. Looks like we can't. Can we talk to Memory Sholmu? No. Alright. But this is all related to his memories about Tao. So it's nice that it gives us some background about them.
They do it again. You punch them with it. And if they still don't get the message, I'll introduce them to mine.
Find some food for Sholmu to offer the... Is this what we're doing now to fight the demon? Alright. Let's bring some noodles to Sholmu. Do we give the noodles to Sholmu or Yao? Looks like we give them to Yao. Have some noodles.
What are you doing out so late? The hell's wrong with your parents? Hungry? Take it. We've got plenty. Pretty cold tonight. You get sick of shivering, drop by the Blue Orchid. We'll get you set up. Ask for Sholmu.
What a guy.
What was I doing? I thought...
It's okay. We'll talk. Just wanted to remind you that you've done a lot of good, too.
I'm sorry you got dragged into this mess, along with everyone else. It's about time I got us out of it. I need to get back to the crew. I'll see you when all this is finished.
Alright, let's rock and roll. Oh, the Wanderer again.
Feel the fury.
So this is a very long instance, but when you think about it, it's like the only substantive, like, combat instance. Isn't it? In this entire... Was there another one? In all of What Lies Within, was there another, like, big combat instance like this? I don't think there was. So we just got this one really big one. Which is also where, like, this tunnel here, big long tunnel, is also, like, where the second half of Guile Adele's meta event takes place. Like I said, I don't personally feel like it has any redeeming qualities at all, but yeah, I'll let you make your own assessment. I also don't like this final encounter one bit. I think this final encounter to this instance is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Oh no, there it is.
This thing just won't quit. What are
gigantic.
I think it's afraid, so it's making itself seem worse than it really is.
We cut it off from the ley line. It must know it's out of options.
I think Yao had the right idea by blocking its manipulation through positive memories. Let's see if we can produce a similar result.
Feel the fury.
Alright, I'm gonna have to remember the mechanics for this because I don't remember them at all. But it does look like we're charging our positive memory thingamajigger. So we'll gather positive energy from this jade. I do remember it was important to destroy these jade walls, so we will do that and see what happens next. Blast the Ravenous Wanderer. Alright, sure. Why not? Do we actually come in here? I feel like that was a bad idea. Maybe we could have done that from outside. Alright. Lend back up to Yao so that they can conjure a positive memory. Why is Yao the one... Oh, put that thing away. Why is Yao the one who needs to have positive memories right now? I thought this was about us. Is this about Yao? Okay. Guess it's about Yao. Yao! Think happy thoughts. It's like some Peter Pan stuff right here. Some fairy dust on him.
You're one of mine, kid. No matter where life takes you, you'll always have a home if you need one. Promise.
Aw, shucks. Aw, shucks, Cholmu. You're really something.
You'll have to hit much harder.
Alright. Really reminiscent of Suwon, right? Probably because this looks exactly the same. And that pulsing is pretty brutal for us. Alright, and guess what? I think we did the same thing like 2 more times. Which is not great, right? Has there ever been a fight in Guild Wars 2 where it was like good to like do the same thing repeatedly? Because I don't recall one. I don't recall ever like being in a big encounter and it was like, did you like doing that? Do it 2 more times. Do it 3 more times. Like I don't ever recall feeling real positive about that. But just the same, I do believe that's kind of the process here. We'll see. There's a lot I don't remember about this fight for sure.
I could outrun a centaur.
Alright, now it's Rama who needs that positive memories. Where are you at, Rama? Think happy thoughts, Rama. Remember Min? Remember how she didn't show up to your party? Did she even tell you why she didn't show up to the party?
Training starts tomorrow.
Oh, I know. I enrolled too.
You decided to go for it.
I did.
Look at us, couple of do-gooders about to begin our lives of fighting crime together.
Yeah. Look at us.
Aw, he did have a memory about Min. And look how it turned out horribly. Poor Rama. It's not easy. Not easy being Rama, I guess.
Feel them. You'll have to hit much harder. Strength of the pack. I'll break you down.
Well, so does it look like he's... That's definitely below 50%. But it's also definitely more than 33%. So I don't know how many times we're going to have to go through this rigmarole. We will see. Because I genuinely don't remember. Hopefully it's not too much.
Feel the fury.
Alright, who's positive energies now? Is it Gorik, it looks like? Lend back up to Gorik and Timey, both of them. They both want to have positive memories. Wonder what they're... I assume they're both going to remember Blish, right? Blish was important to both of them.
Hid in the clouds, tossing blonde logs. You wouldn't be Blish's brother, would you?
Oh, Tiny, right? Blish mentioned you'd be dropping by. He speaks very highly of you. Pleasure to finally meet you.
Likewise.
Ah, so now we know what Gorik looked like when he was just a progeny. Is that right? Just progeny?
Wither. Clear the... You sick? Strength of the pack. I'll break you down. Rip 'em up.
Oh, we do have to do it one more time. You know what's better than doing something once? Doing it 4 straight times. Thank you for giving us that opportunity, Arenanet. You're just the best. Where would we be without this? Huh? We'd be so unhappy to not be doing what we're doing right now. I mean, of all the things we could be doing, we get to do this. Let's get this corrupted Jade down real quick here. Or not. Nah, we got what we wanted. Alright, we'll keep moving. We're already a bit more going on all at once now. I'm definitely one of those players who experiences a little bit of like cognitive overload if there's just too much going on. So.
Anyone can do this? It's you, Commander. We've got your back.
You've already made it this far.
We believe in you, Commander. Always.
Thanks, everyone. Sure appreciate the encouragement. So what do I literally come in here? No. Oh, I go back here. Focus your thoughts on positive memories. Alright, or die. I shouldn't have gone in there. Which was pretty obvious in retrospect. Okay.
Back on my feet, thanks to you.
Oh. Oh, focus thoughts. Center yourself and conjure positive memories.
I'm proud that you saved so many innocents.
Thanks to you, I've been reminded that no matter how bad things seem, heroes don't give up on their friends.
Thank you for being my legacy.
It was your bravery that led us to safety, my friend. I am grateful to you.
It's time.
Oh, so Forgall didn't properly appear. What a bummer. Oh, now I can come over here and not get annihilated by like the AoE. Cool, happy to hear that.
Feel the fury.
Well, I'm totally drained, but kind of warm and fuzzy in a weird way. Is this how it felt when you collected memories? No wonder you're exhausted, Commander. Hey, you deserve a nap. Hell, we all do.
Yes, feelings are hard, yeah.
Did we really just kill that thing with the power of positive thinking? You know, normally that kind of crap annoys me, but, I do feel a lot better. Maybe that's just the adrenaline talking. Nice work out there, Commander.
So not only did it annoy you, Rama, it annoyed a lot of people. By the way, a lot of people did not find that funny. And the thing is, I don't think it has anything to do with power positive thinking. Honestly, I don't think that's what people are actually bent out of shape about. I think more than anything is the whole Guyala Delphs thing probably didn't feel as good as it should have. Like, that's not a fun instance. And I think that's probably, if it had been a really fun instance, I don't think people would have complained so much about the power of positive thinking.
So, thanks for helping back there. Oh, both of you.
Same to you. Both of you. And for the first time, of many still to come, I can officially say, case closed.
Good job, Gorik. Are we not going to see more Chomu? Is that... Oh, we're not going to, like, make sure he's okay? Bina? Was that her name? Is he, like, back there, like, cutting his wrist with pieces of jade because of what happened to Bina, and we're just out here, like, chilling? I feel that's... Maybe we can, like, call him with some sort of... We'll use the feeling-ator? No? Okay. Guess that's that. Alright, but undoubtedly we have some closeout here. We also have a whole other thing that we're going to do after this. In spite of how long this is run, and it has run long. But we still have a little bit more to do. Read the message. Oh, we have a message from Rama. Before I go through any tunnels here, I should probably read the message. Hey, Commander. Long time no see. Got a favor to ask. Since we're done dealing in demons, thank gods. Haha, you say that now. You haven't played Secrets of the Obscure. I thought I'd give the whole Red Duck Tea House get-together another go. Yeah, because it went so well the first time, Rama. This guy's going to have a rough go. Like, even if you find someone to date, he's going to have a rough time of it. Fine, I'll level with you. Truth is, I asked men to dinner at the tea house, but the closer it gets, the more I worry I'll screw the whole thing up. For as much BS as you all drag me into, I think having a few friends there would help things go a lot smoother. Gorik and Timey have already agreed to show. If you wouldn't mind swinging by for a bit, I'd appreciate it. Wait. So it's actually like a date with him and Min, and then a date with Gorik and Timey. So they're double dating. So... And I'm not just saying this because, like, I think I'm clever. That's actually how this is going to go. So I believe we're going to be given the option here in a minute to choose a date also. Unfortunately, it's a pretty limited number of options. It would be, like, really fun if they actually gave us, like, a bunch of, like, random NPCs. And especially if they were, like... So there are some people who very much wouldn't want them to be race-based. There are some people who 100% are like, I am a human male and I want to date a char male or something like that. That's cool. But, like, I would love for, like, my date option to be like a line guard Dansky or something. But maybe I'm the only idiot who actually knows and remembers, like, all those random NPCs. I don't know. But that's not the way it's going to go. We're actually going to have some pretty limited options, so we're just going to have to make do with what we get. We'll get there in a few minutes. Unfortunately, it takes forever to navigate this city. Ooh, I thought that was a passageway, and it is not. Alright, that's fine. We'll find one. We will find a way. This is where the sky scale is nice. For sure. Sometimes I just park characters inside the top of these, like, bell tower looking things up here, where those lanterns are. If I have to, like, take a break or something, I'll just park a character up there. Never had someone up there with me when I came back. Super disappointing. Surely I'm not the only person who does that. Surely not. Look, it's another blue orb. Eye of the ocean.
Savior of kindness.
I would love to know if those are in fact the same blue orbs from like the core story when we're battling Zaitan. And if so, if we can get like a little more on that. A little more on the horror of the deep, chase away the crate, because apparently it wasn't Suwan, so what was it? Like, questions that I want to answer to. Inquiring minds want to know. Ugh, he couldn't have picked a tea house a little bit closer. I probably should have waypointed and then gone from there. Oh wait, where are we going? Oh, he did pick a. I made a terrible assumption based on what the letter said.
Saving millions from certain demise. My train of pirate turned hero sacrificed her life.
Such a good idea. She's very nice.
And her plumage is just gorgeous.
Commander, perfect timing. You read Rama's letter?
Sounds like he needs some support with this whole Min situation.
Luckily, he has us to back him up. Gork and I'll be there to help. Although, we were thinking...
It might be nice if you also had someone to bring with you.
Oh?
Since we're pressed for time, we decided to take some initiative and...
Reached out to some local friends to see if they're busy tonight.
You didn't.
Don't worry, Commander. There's no pressure whatsoever. We're just there to have a good time and to help Rama.
Yeah, so we're getting set up on a date. Thanks, Gorik. We got Ayumi, Yao, and Kanak. Like, these are our choices. I'm not even, you know what, like, let's just bring Kanak, and that way we can drink and gamble, because both these other two choices are super weird for me. Kanak it is. Meet up with Kanak. Oh, I have to go ask him? This is terrible. I'd forgotten about all this. This is absolutely awful. Why was Liongard Dansky not on the list? Seriously disappointed. What about Liongard Mira? Can she see now, or is she still blind? What happened with that? I'm actually really concerned about her. Well, we don't get more story about that? Come on, Arenanet. Get it together. I get sent on dates with Kanak, but I can't get a status update on Liongard Mira. Well, at least this allows us to see Club Kanak, right? We're long overdue for visiting the club. Look, it's got club chairs. I want to sit in a club chair. Oh, I look amazing. Yeah. I mean, not me. I look nothing like that. I don't make characters that look like me. I make characters that I want to look at. That should be evident by now. So yeah. Where is Kanak anyway? Back behind, like, how do I get back there? Oh, is there some kind of passageway? There must be some kind of passageway. There we go. Look, more chairs. I kind of want to sit in this chair. Fantastic. But I got that lettering thing on, so it says club chair right across my lap, which is a little bizarre. There are batteries everywhere because I think you need batteries to play the games, if I remember it. Finally, Kanak. Man, I've been looking all over for you. Looking for some excitement? How would you like to...
Yes, I am, and yes, I would. Where are we going, and what are we doing?
Didn't Gorik tell you?
Actually, never mind. More exciting if I don't know. Just how exciting?
Hey now. We're going to help Rama with Min.
Of course, of course.
Shall we?
That was a little weird. Not really my style, Kanak. You're invited because I need a drinking buddy. Should we beginner, Kanak says? No, we should not. Alright. Now what? To the tea house now? See, now I gotta go back up there again. Like the hardest place to get to in all of New Kainang. Aside from the jumping puzzle.
Welcome back to the Canton Report. We have a very special guest in the studio today. Acting Minister of Security Chairman.
Man, New Kainang never like loads for me easy. I mean, 2070 Superclock is like pretty old at this point, but that's not a bad GPU. It's not like it's like outdated.
Regardless of my role, there's a lot of work to be done, and I will do everything in my power to see that it is. Are you saying that the purists...
And yet apparently New Kainang just annihilates it.
We don't know the scope of their operation, but it would be foolish to ignore them. Even with me out of the picture, they're a threat. So I'm confident when I say, yes, they are still active.
Alright, so we hear all like the talking and stuff in that background. That's like that little news report. It is worth noting that that little news report does update.
We're taking bets. Young Sue or sucked at delivery.
Based on like where you're at in the story. So right now we hear like the interviewer asking Captain Min, now that she's acting Minister of Defense, you know, her perspectives on like the future of the Ministry of Purity or the Purists and like what it means for New Kainang and all that. Like that's what all that was. So I do, that is some attention to detail. Like sometimes they really struggle with attention to detail, and sometimes they 100% get it right. There's an example of them getting it right. Like I know I'm really hard on Arenanet, but sometimes they do things well, and so I try to acknowledge when they do things well. There's a great example of like doing a really good job. All right, time for this really awkward like triple date.
We're all here now. Perfect. It's showtime.
You see her go all cross-eyed when she said that? Like, did they not catch that during QA/QC? Hey, Canuck! Let's help our pal. Or let's churn some... He is dressed in his fancy suit. And I am scandalous, as I've been throughout the entire story playthrough, so sure, let's churn some heads.
Canuck, don't you look dapper?
I could say the same for you, Commander. You pull off the whole badass with a noble cause look flawlessly.
I wonder what this is like to like play through on like a mail char. One of these days I'm going to do that. I have mail char on other accounts. I'm going to have to play through this particular instance just to see how that interaction looks.
Over here.
Yes, I see you, Rama.
Who it is. It's been a while, Commander. Glad you both could make it.
Indeed. I guess I'm sitting here. Canuck's going to be there. All right, cool.
You look lovely, Tiny.
Oh, Gorik, this is what I always look like.
Well, exactly.
Oh, stop. I mean, you can also keep going, but, you know, well, you're not so hard on the eyes yourself.
Oh? Oh.
Gorik's 100% getting lucky tonight.
You people again? Do you know how long it took me to clean up your confetti last time? I find it in my dreams. We do have a no-seat list, you know, so try acting civilized. Or your name will be right there next to Park Chalmu.
Canuck, namesake and visionary behind Arborstone's famous Club Canuck. Positively charmed.
Minister of Security, Min.
Are you named after the ministry, or is the ministry named after you? You're with the authorities?
I am the authorities. Though I don't get out to Arborstone much.
I wouldn't recommend it. Nothing to see out there. Boring, really. Who's hungry? Waiter! What must a person do to get service around here? This would never happen at my establishment.
Here, you may want to at least try it this time. The lover's maki takes twice as long to prepare, you know.
Huh. I thought you hated sushi.
I do. It's just that last time I thought you might be stopping by, so I ordered it because it made me think of you.
Sushi made you think of me? Because you hate it?
No.
Is this heart-shaped?
Although anatomically incorrect, Min, did you know the actual shape of the human heart resembles a closed fist?
Oh, that's...
Commander, do something! Get us off the sushi topic!
Don't do anything, Commander. Don't. Oh, look, I have options down here. I can do things.
Whoops! Oh, how clumsy of me.
Are you kidding me?
A Dolyak and a jade shop, this one. Graceful on the battlefield, yet so little finesse when it comes to the finer things.
So, anyway, Rama tells me that you're doing PI work these days?
That's correct. We're pioneering our new detective agency and just wrapped up our first case.
That's neat. What's your agency called?
Actually, I wanted to bring that up. I got a little ahead of myself with the agency and filing the paperwork and, well, I chose Friends Detectives because it was an agency founded by friends and it made perfect sense.
Oh.
But when I stopped and thought about it, I realized that me picking the name for us misses the whole friendship part. Then I got another idea. I ran it by Jory and she loves it. But I'd like your input before I proceed with it, Rama.
Let's hear it.
Brim and Scarab. See, the Scarab is an obvious homage to my love of beetles, and the brim refers to your hat. I also proposed Big Hat Detectives, but Jory was concerned the name wouldn't be taken seriously.
I really like it. It's got sort of an old-timey feel to it, yeah, in a good way. And it's really thoughtful.
It's classy and sweet. Rama here. Brim and Scarabs on the case.
I'm sold.
Well, that's fun. All right, are we what? So there are a number of things we can do here, I guess. Should we chat with Gorik? Gorik. Nah. Gorik, you good job on the name, buddy. Oh, it doesn't prompt audio dialogue. Well, that's kind of not that much fun then. Let's see what Min's got going on though. Glad you're keeping Ramen busy. Yeah, how are things at the ministry? They're busy. Even we're feeling some stress from this whole energy fiasco. That's a weird. Even we are feeling some stress. Yes, but the contraction makes it confusing. That was weird. Hopefully some good will come from our findings. I'm sure of it. Just need to get past some bureaucratic hurdles. So none of this is really story advancing. So I'm going to chomp down and eat my noodles. I'm going to sip some tea. Oh, I can't sip tea until I'm done eating noodles. Oh my gosh, what a blunder. What an error. I never should have eaten the noodles. All right, drink some tea. I'm very dignified when I drink tea. That's good. At least I have manners. All right, ask for the check.
I had a great time tonight. Thanks for coming out.
The pleasure's all mine. If you ever need someone to wine and dine again, do let me know.
I had a great time tonight.
Really?
Of course. Your friends are a lot of fun. And very well dressed.
They're good people. A little eccentric, but we've all got our quirks. I feel like I can be myself around them. After the whole Lee disaster, it's been tough to feel comfortable with people. But I trust them. And I trust you.
That jerk got what he deserved, but I know it hasn't been easy for you. I'm always here for you. Always will be.
Thanks, man. Hey, you wouldn't be interested in doing this again sometime, would you?
Absolutely. Next time, how about it's just us?
That sounds fantastic. I look forward to it.
Me too.
Ah, shucks. Oh, good. They all have a whole bunch of dialogue. That's great.
Champion, it's been too long. I've been resting. Could you meet me? The sunset over Seitang Harbor is exquisite, and I could use the company. It's been quite taxing, learning to filter the magics of the world. If Seitang Harbor is too far from where you are, I've left you a portal at the Eye of the North that will bring you to me.
All right, so that's triggering already the interlude, which is the very last thing that we're going to do. And that audio normally would not have taken place here. When this was released, we would have just talked to these people. That audio just was introduced just recently because they want people to do the interlude because it kind of wraps up everything End of Dragons before we go over or go into Secrets of the Obscure. So we are going to go talk to Arene before we wrap up for today. But real quick, Canuck, you got anything you want to talk about? He says, I might be the best of all the people that he's dined with. I do stand out. Oh, Commander, you couldn't blend in if you wanted to. Thanks. Appreciate your flattery, Canuck. Goric, do you think Timey noticed I wore my best glasses? Yeah, she is very observant. She's dreamy. Sighs dreamily, isn't she? And then Timey totally wasn't eavesdropping on Rama or Min, but if I was, I'd say it was a total success. It's nice to see people happy together, isn't it? And how about you, Commander? How are you doing? I'm doing better now. Oh, the Commander's still wounded. Still suffering, the Commander. And friends suspended with. Yeah, so Gork and Tommy are going to go get a room. Min and Rama are going to go get a room. I'm not going to get a room with Canuck. He's going to return to his casino and continue to do casino things. Commander's going to go feel sorry for themselves. Min, nice you grabbed the check, Commander. Your class act. Well, I do have 156 gold, 55 silver, 66 bronze, apparently, which is really not very much, but enough to pay for dinner. So it's the least I could do. Pretty thoughtful for Rama to set this up, huh? He's a bit of a hopeless romantic. So she may have been giving him a hard time, but she acknowledges all this when all's said and done. And I say, oh, romantic, you do say. And she says, I do say. Oh, so Min knows what's going on here. And she's, this is not a disaster that it appears to be to us or Rama. Were we eavesdropping? We were. Congrats on getting a second date. I knew it, but also thanks. Yep, I'm here for you. Okay. Oh, wait, there's still more. Who is the other? Oh, is it the chef? I thought we talked to the chef at some point. I thought it was the last time we were here, though. The chef has something to say. Oh, no, it's the waiter. Ah, God, the waiter. What do you want now? Thanks for tolerating us. I know, did we tip? Like, really, if we want to thank this person for tolerating us, we could have tipped instead of, like, coming to talk to them. We said we know her a bit much, and he said complete understatement. Yeah, I thought you could talk to the chef. Apparently not. Oh, the chef is old. The chef looks like he has a substance abuse problem. Jeez. Okay, let's go talk to Arene and be done with everything so that we can look forward to the next release. Let's waypoint, by the way. We could just run over there, but it's worth the silver to not do that. Alright, so while all this has been going on, Arena's been away, right? She's been doing Arene things. After the defeat of Suwon and the defeat of the Void, she now has this huge responsibility, right? She is the sole Elder Dragon and is responsible for filtering all the magic of the world, which is a big responsibility. So presumably, a lot going on and working her way through it. So now we haven't seen her all this time, and now she wants to catch up with us. She has something she wants to discuss. Let's find out what it is. This is a cool palette. And of course, we don't see this at any point in time normally in Saitong.
Arene asked me to come.
Ah, yes. I had a feeling. I'd hoped that we'd have more time. They grow up so quickly, don't they?
I'm glad I was able to see you again. Both of you.
Again? Are you going somewhere?
Clearly.
I see.
Ever since Suwon left us, I've had to learn how to filter the magic of Tyria on my own. The weight of it all has yet to settle. Even if it gets a little easier each day, I think I need to rest while my body adjusts.
You should have told us. We could have helped you.
No, you couldn't. And that's okay. This is my trial. This is my burden now.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know. I won't be far. But somewhere quiet. Someplace I can process.
What will we do without you?
You will live on, my friend. Tyria can thrive and progress without the fear of devastation. The dragon cycle ended with Suwon. Enjoy this time. Breathe. For me. My champion, how you've protected me these many years. Asking a favor of you may seem selfish, but...
What do you need, my friend?
Watch over this place while I'm gone. Watch over our friends.
Of course.
You are a living flicker of hope. Let the world see all that you are, my champion. Now, how can we be so somber with a view like this? Sit with me for a moment, will you?
Alright, so we actually have the opportunity to leave if we want, but we will also get some optional dialogue here with both Arene and Kaith. So it's not weird that Arene would be leaving in terms of how the story is constructed, because after all, if you look at all the other Elder Dragons, like, they were functional when they were resting. They filtered magic when they were resting. And they spent most of history resting. We know them as being awake because that's what was relevant to the gameplay in Guild Wars 2 and advancing the story for the commander in Guild Wars 2. But prior to that, they had spent, what, like thousands of years resting? So it's logical to assume that Arene will spend thousands of years resting as well. She has to perform the function that previously the 6 of them performed. So when are you actually leaving, Arene?
Soon, champion. I feel the pull of my potion calling me to my rest. It slips into me like a rush of warmth, traveling through my entire body.
It sounds peaceful.
More than you know.
Okay. So, imminent, right? And again, like, why is she feeling that pull? Because it's what she's supposed to be doing in the first place, is resting and filtering the magic. How long will you be gone? This is a dumb question for the commander. The commander should know that it will be quite a long time. After all, like, they keep saying the dragon cycle is over, but, like, I mean, isn't she fulfilling her responsibility within, like, the new dragon cycle?
I'm not certain. But with the world's magic and balance, I can only guess. When the other Elder Dragons had fulfilled their roles, they slept for millennia.
I hope it's not that long.
As do I. I would very much like to see you again.
Okay, well, I mean, obviously we should hope that's not the case. I'm not going to belabor the point on how Arene is kind of game-breaking, particularly now with End of Dragons done and everything else. And I'm not going to belabor that because that's already been done by Wooden Potatoes in another video. But it is worth noting, like, we need Arene out of the story, right? And we want Arene out. I mean, I certainly do. I don't want to see any more Arene ever. I also, to be honest, don't really want to see any more Marjorie or Casimir or even, Logan, Ritlock. I would be okay if we never see any of them again when we start completely brand spanking new, which we're very clearly not going to do, but I would be fine with that if we did. Arene, can you see what's coming? Am I going to have to put up with more timing?
No.
Oh.
My sight, I believe it was tied to the dragon cycle. It's different than before. Then, there was a void, and I couldn't see past it. Now there's just nothing. It would seem I'm as blind to the future as you, champion.
Does that bother you?
The opposite. Our path is our own.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Arene. Go take a nap that's probably going to last longer than I have left on this globe. Kaith, are you, like, all worked up over this? How are you feeling?
Sad, of course, but also proud. I will miss her more than I can say. But we've both known this was coming for some time now. We'll do our best to live up to her trust in us.
I'm sure we will.
Well, what are you gonna do now, Keith, with Irene, like, disappearing? I mean, what's your purpose now?
I don't know. I'll need some time to think about my responsibilities as leader of the Crystal Bloom. I've thought about returning home, to the Pale Tree. But even if I wanted to go back, I don't know if I could.
I'm here if you need me.
All right. Speaking of the Crystal Bloom, Keith being their commander, like, what are they gonna do now? Because, like, they've more or less, honestly, been like Irene's bodyguards and private army, which is like potentially kind of sketch, for a while now. So what's gonna be their thing?
Most would likely volunteer to watch over Aurene as she rests.
Creepy.
Though, given the current landscape, I don't see anything that could threaten our sweet Aurene.
I'm confident you'll help them find their purpose.
That's exactly right. We'll find something for them to focus on.
Probably smart. That way they're not a just random group of weaponized militant people with nothing to do. Yeah, maybe they'll settle in Belarus. I don't know. Do you think we'll see Aurene again?
No. But if I've learned anything in the time we've spent with Aurene, it's to expect the unexpected.
She's certainly surprised us more than once.
And I have a feeling that she'll surprise us yet again.
Yeah, that's not good dialogue. That's unfortunate. I wish they wouldn't do that. All right. Well, everyone's good, so we're gonna leave. I don't think there's anything more to do here. Like, I would hate to miss something related to this because this is it until Secrets of the Obscure comes out. But I genuinely don't think there's more. Is there more, Irene? No, there's not. All right, we're leaving. On our way out. All right, and that is it. We have completed all of the ended. We just wrap it up right here. No, you know what? Can we face the other way? Maybe that's better. Ooh, the grass might be problematic. Nah, that works out all right. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap it up because I have been on for a really long time now. These are going to be some long videos, but they are going to allow me to post everything prior to the release of Secrets of the Obscure because we have now completed all the story leading up to the new expansion, which is going to drop here in just a couple days. Now, I'm not going to be releasing that story content immediately after it drops because I'm probably going to want to play through it on my main account before I play through it and record it here, but it won't take too much longer after it drops for us to get into our story playthrough, and then we'll also be picking 0 to 0 back up for a second go round with some new goals to go there. So awesome. I was not sure when I started doing story playthrough that I'd actually get through all of it because it's going to end up being something like 105 or 106 videos, something like that, when all said and done, some of which are well over an hour. So it's going to land in like the 110 hour plus ballpark. And it's crazy to think that there's that much story in the game, the same amount as there is, that we spent on 0 to 0 with all the things that we achieved in 0 to 0. Pretty wild. But I am happy to have completed all of it. I don't really know what Secrets of the Obscure is going to offer. I've seen as much as anyone else when it comes to, the previews and the trailers and all that business. But, what is it really going to mean for the game? I have no idea. So I'm excited to see that. So we will pick it up when there is some Secrets of the Obscure story to play. Thank you, and you have a good one.